We're given the parametric equations x equals t and y equals -2 minus t for t values between -2 and 2, and we're asked to sketch the curve represented by these equations. So in order to do that, let's make a little chart. We're going to substitute in values for t and see what our x and y coordinates turn out to be. They told us they want t to be in between -2 and 2, so let's just use integer values between -2 and 2. Notice that x is equal to t, so whatever t is, x is the same thing, so our x column is going to look exactly the same as our t column. And for y, we're going to have to enter the values into the y equation. So if t is equal to -2, -2 times -2 is 4, and 4 minus 2 is 2. If we substitute in -1, -2 times -1 is +2 minus 2 is 0. If we substitute 0, we get 0 minus 2, which is -2. If we substitute in 1, we're going to get -2 minus 2, which is -4. And finally, if we enter 2, -2 times 2 is -4 minus 2 is -6. So if we go over to a piece of graph paper and we enter these values, we have -2, 2. We have -1, 0. We have 0, -2. We have 1, -4. And finally, we have 2, -6. And so our graph is this line that is going in this direction. So we can put little arrows to show that. We can also go back and enter our t values. This was when t was equal to -2. For this order point, t was equal to -1. Here we had t equals 0, t equals 1, and t equals 2. Now if we go back and look at these equations, I'm going to write this as x equals 1t plus 0 and y equals -2t minus 2. Notice that the graph of these parametric equations turned out to be a line. Notice that the y-intercept of this line was 0, -2, and so you can see where that comes from in the graph. Also notice that the slope of this line was your y-coordinate over your x-coordinate, and it was equal to -2. So when you have your equations written in parametric form, when they are a line, it's easy to see what your y-intercept is going to be and what the slope of your line is going to be.